Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, you get my library update. So, I have a situation in my library right now. I'm gonna turn the camera around and just give you a look at that. There are a lot of books in my library right now, and not a lot of shelf space. Let me show you a little bit more. Here we have my middle grade shelves. Every single shelf on here is full. Now, this stack here at the bottom, these are books that I'm going to take into my classroom. So that'll alleviate a little bit. But you also see, even with that, I have a book laid here. Okay? So then we come over to my Lord of the Rings shelf, or what's going to be my Lord of the Rings shelf. This one is fine. I still have space on here for what it's designed for. Then we come over to my young adult shelf. Now, you'll have to pardon these stacks here at the bottom. This is the stack for what I've read in the first half of June. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but we'll get to that then. But if we look at my young adult shelf, you will see I have some books laying across the top. I really don't like that, but I don't have any space. And on two shelves here, you will see I've had to stack them sideways. Then we come over to this shelf. You see here, these books do not fit, so I just place them on there. I can't put them on top of this particular shelf, but I'm running out of space. This is my adult fantasy space. You'll see on my young adult contemporary, I've had to stack them sideways. Not necessarily something that I like to do, but obviously you see, I'm out of space here. These books here in the center, these are not books that we're going to have to worry about. These are books that are going to go into my classroom library. I'm going to try to wrap this up soon because my battery is blinking. I do not really have any space on these shelves. All of those books, or most of these books in my TBR closet, I hope to include somewhere on these shelves. This one, my collections closet, is not really going to change. So where does that leave me? I have this shelf here, which I've had for a while. It's not really a bookshelf. My plan is to take this shelf and everything on it and move it into my main living room, into this space here, and get a couple shelves like this to go on this side of the room. I would get a whole tall one, but there's not really room because I have some puzzles taped up there. We shall see what I end up doing with this. Okay, full disclosure, I filmed the first clip for this over a month ago. I thought for sure, sometime in June, I would get to moving this particular shelf. It is now a week and a half before school starts, and about 6-7 weeks after I filmed that clip, this shelf has not yet been moved. That's the goal for today. Without further ado, let's get to moving that shelf.
I've been out of my head, can't get out of bed. Too much on my brain, but got it good, can't complain. It's like I'm losing my mind, and time's hard to find. What's a girl gotta do to catch a break up? When life tries to test me, I take it one day at a time. Yesterday, but look at me today. It has been so long since I wrote a sad song. Sunshine on my face, I'm feeling okay. Nothing's in my...
Okay, so step one is done. I have it in the spot where I want it. I thought I was going to scoot it all the way back, but I decided not to because there's stuff that I want to put on the top here. I'm going to try to come up with a place to set the camera out here. Film me putting it back together. Riveting content, I know.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so I've put my hair up. I've moved everything out to the floor that you can't really see at the moment. Let me see if a new position will work even better. Okay, so I'm ducking down to be in frame, but this gets to most of the shelf, and you can see some of these stacks. The lighting is not as good, but that's okay. I did get rid of a few things. I also got rid of several stacks of books that I just decided, nope, I don't want these anymore. They've been in my collection for a while. I'm just not interested in them anymore. Next quarter's unhaul is going to be quite large. But let's get to putting things on the shelf. I just realized that some of these shelves don't have backing on them. Like this one has no backing on it. I can get my hand all the way through. This one does. That's going to make stacking some of these things a bit interesting.
I'm good. I put a dress on today. I don't care what you say. And I'm ignoring my phone, so don't try to reach me. I can't do nothing for you, so don't ask, I ain't coming through. 'Cause I'm running away to my own world, that's where I'll stay. Yeah. When life tries to test me, I take it one day at a time. 'Cause I was crying yesterday, but look at me today. It has been so long since I wrote a sad song. Sunshine on my face, I'm feeling okay. Nothing's in my way. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Nothing ever stays the same. There's always room for better days. Now I know how to live life with a smile on my face.
Okay, so step one is done. The lighting is not great here. I need to get a couple more bookshelves, one or two depending on the width, for back in the library. Because of the stuff that I got rid of, everything fits a whole lot better. I'm going to go through and tell you what's what. All right, so up here on the top, these are my race books. I haven't made any for the past few years. I need to do that. This is just about 40%, no, about 70% of my pin collection. I have a lot of those. These are some notebooks I haven't used yet. All right, first row. These are my running journals. I keep one every year. This one I accidentally spilled a lot of coffee on. These are all of my running journals. Then we come down here. I kept I said running journals. They're just my regular journals. I kept that going through here. This gets into some of my reading journals and miscellaneous. These are when I was posting pictures every day. I made little chapbooks out of them. The next section, so this came to last. These are some of my education related books. Down here, these are my coloring books and colored pencils and etc. This is a keepsake box. I don't remember where I got the box originally, but notes and stuff from students I put in here. More education related books, bigger books that don't fit on my shelves. And there you go. This part of the library renovation is done. Who knows when I'll get to the next part. Okay, so it's finally time to get the library in order, not have books sitting on the shelf because there is no space on the shelves themselves. I was thinking about filming some B-roll of setting up this new bookshelf here, but it ended up that my stepdad helped me with it. So no B-roll for that. I don't actually think I'm gonna do B-roll for the shelves themselves, even though I like it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. So we shall see on that. But my goal, my thought is, because I was thinking about organization as well, and I know the lighting is not great because it's evening. Okay, so I turned on another one of my lights. Hopefully that's better. But my thought is, because I wanted to keep things fairly organized, I'm gonna go through my middle grade shelves because I'm gonna take several of those into my classroom library, and that should hopefully get all of those books on that shelf. As far as young adult goes, I think I'm actually going to take young adult sci-fi off, and young adult sci-fi is gonna be one of the things over on this shelf. Also my young adult contemporary mystery, etc. will also go over here. And then as far as my adult books go, I think I'm also going to, if there's room, move all of my adult, contemporary, mystery, etc. over here as well, because the main genre that I have is fantasy. But we shall see once I get going. All right, so I'm back to do the final update guided bookshelf tour, including my TBR closet. The floor of the library, not necessarily so great. There's still some pieces from that new bookshelf, as well as all of my unhaul books, but everything else has been updated. So we will start with my TBR closet. And I have updated this, so they go in order alphabetical-ish with BookBox subscriptions. So we start with Broken Binding up until here. Then we have Caffeine and Legends up until here. We have Inkstone through here. This is LitJoy. I moved my graphic novel and manga section up here. I don't have as much because I read a bunch for Amazing Readathon. And then I have, these are special editions from Inkstone, I believe, and some others that didn't fit on the shelf. Here we have some books from subscriptions that I no longer get. These might go on a These Books Will Self-Destruct video if I decide to film that. Next we have my Book of the Month subscription, so not quite in alphabetical order. I already had a bunch there. Next we have Fairy Loot Young Adult and Fairy Loot Adult. It goes back through here. There is one book you can't really see there. Then we have Goldsboro through here. On this shelf we have Illumicrate, and then on this shelf I have some of my Owlcrate books and a handful for my TBR subscription that I should probably put on the other shelf. All right, here we have all of the series that I need to finish that I started before BookTube. Up through here, technically Murtaugh just came out, but I put it through here because I did start and read that series prior to being on BookTube. Then we have sequels to BookBox books that I enjoyed through here. Then we have sequels to series that I started last year, the Aggie Morton series, the Rook and the Rose series, David Bod trilogy, the Fight of the Night series, and the Lycanius trilogy here. This continues on to this shelf. Down in the corner there we have Shadow and Bone. Technically I started that before BookTube. We'll keep it down there. We have the one book that I have in the Hawthorne Legacy series here. And then we go into other series that I have a handful of books from. Technically, these are two standalones, but they're basically a series. I just need to read this to finish this series. I need to get book 3 in this. This section now goes into series that I have not started yet. So I have 3 complete duologies here, and then a bunch of first books in series going down through there. This shelf here, I don't know if it's going to focus, but this shelf here is my nonfiction shelf. And okay, there it goes, focusing. In the corner, we have some miscellaneous fiction that didn't fit on other shelves. And then on this bottom shelf, again, we have some miscellaneous fiction that I couldn't really categorize other ways. This bottom shelf here are all my Doctor Who comics that I haven't read. Coming up, we have different list books, books in Spanish. These are my current Rick Riordan Presents imprint. I have only one book. Physically, I have a couple arcs, but they haven't been published yet. These are my Our Fantasy Bingo books that I have left, minus one book that's supposed to be like a cover by. Obviously, I haven't gotten that one yet, but I'm doing fairly well on this. Next, we have what's left of my 24 and 24, not too shabby. And then here we have the 2 series left on my list of series to start, as well as the rest of my Buzzwordathon books, minus the August book, which should already be over on my TBR card. All right, so that is my TBR closet. Next, we have my collection section, and camera's a little close, sorry about that. So on the first few shelves, you have my Harry Potter collection. This, obviously, there's no books on there. All of these knickknacks come from non-licensed, non-official sellers. Then we have my classics, Barnes & Noble Classics collection, the leather-ish types. Then we have their publication ones here, my Chronicles of Narnia section here, and then these are all of the classroom library books that I have left to go over, and my vastly dwindling section of Christian fiction. Next we come to my nonfiction section, and I realized, looking at this, I didn't sort this one out. I'll do that eventually. This one hasn't changed very much. I have a handful of books that I need to sort out on the shelves, but as you can see down here, I have space. Next, we come over to the shelf that is my background shelf. This one, again, really has not changed. The only addition here is the Chalice of the Gods right there. I should put that on the shelf. I forgot about that one. Then we come to my middle grade section. Starting on the top, we have my Rick Riordan Presents imprint books. I was able to fit everything on the shelf with some space left over here at the bottom because I moved several of them over to take into my classroom library. Then we come to my young adult section. I have taken off all the sci-fi, but I didn't have that much sci-fi. I have a little bit of space left there. Probably going to have to do some rearranging in the future. Then this shelf, again, is now my adult fantasy and a handful of sci-fi sections, but I have 2 shelves to expand there. These shelves here have not really changed. These were my newest additions, not anymore. Most of my graphic novels have been moved out and I've taken them into my classroom library. But other than that, this one hasn't changed. Now we come to the new shelves. Now for some reason, when my stepdad was putting it together, the middle piece that was supposed to go there was not there. So I used it as an opportunity to put all of my Book of the Month books that I'm deciding to keep. Obviously, that's going to have to be rearranged. Then I split it between, on each side, young adult and adult on this side. So we go young adult sci-fi starting here, coming down through here, then into historical fiction, then into mystery, and then generic contemporary. My adult section, there is room to expand on both parts there, but I went basically in a similar order, except for no sci-fi. Start with mystery here, generic here, and historical fiction. All right, so there you go. There's my updated 2024 library tour. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.